All right, you are all set, Mayor.
Thank you, James. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Newington Town Council's public hearing. Today's date is Tuesday, April 20th, 2021, and we are calling this meeting to order at 5:50 p.m. The purpose of this evening's meeting is to provide an opportunity for interested individuals to express their views regarding the proposed amendment to the Newington Code of Ordinances, Chapter 48, Funds, Article 9, Public School Capital Improvement Projects Reserve Fund, 48-14, Definitions, 48-15, Creation of Fund Revenues. This evening, the purpose of this adjustment is to allow for the preschool tuitions for the Board of Education to be used in their operational budget, and that is what is up for discussion. The council will deliberate this after the public hearing at our regular meeting, our special meeting after this at 7. With that being said, I'll open it up to public participation. All right. I see Mr. Sylvia. Are you there, Steve? Whoop, you just went muted. Mr. Sylvia, are you there? James, I typically have some options here to ask to unmute, and I don't have those. Do you have those on your screen?
You should now. I just made you a co-host.
Okay.
But I did unmute him, and he does show active.
Yep. He's got permission to talk right now, so now's your chance, Mr. Sylvia. I see your hand up, but I don't hear you. I'm not sure what's happening. James, do you think it would work if I did promote to panelist to allow him to speak and then took him out?
Actually, if Mr. Sylvia raises the little arrow next to the mute button and selects test his speaker and microphone, it should reset him. We could pull him over if you'd like to.
It's worth a try.
All right, I'm going to give it a try here. Let's move him over. There we are.
Hello, this is Steve Sylvia.
Hi, Mr. Sylvia. Go ahead and state your name and address for the record.
Thank you. Stephen Sylvia, 45 Basswood Street, Newington, Connecticut. I'd like to thank the council for discussing potential amendments to this on this particular ordinance. I'll use that word. What I have discovered and would like to share is that with the advent of the pre-K program that the board has been able to introduce this past year, we've had some really nice success in the application of tuitions towards the operational expenses to offset the salary and running of the program, to such an extent that I'm trying to encourage that we expand the program and enhance the tuition revenues to the school system. The idea being is that for every dollar that we can help generate for the school system through the tuition program, will help to, in theory, and I do say in theory, reduce the demand for tax dollars to supplement the overall budget. That being said, there is a level of transparency that is required in order for that to be successful and for the school system and the board to demonstrate trust and compliance with the wishes of the town. So fundamentally, my only comment is the intent of the tuition is well-founded. It does serve a purpose for this past year, and it's been applied. But like any other program that's within the board, unless there's full transparency of the application of the generosity of the town could be misconstrued. So I just, I'm putting that out there, and also just making myself available if there's any questions. I can't answer on behalf of the board. That would be for the chairman, Mr. Vasella. But if there's any kind of clarity that I can share what I do know with you, and I'm very interested in understanding the discussions that you'll have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvia. All right, let me just double check our window one more time. I don't see anyone else with their hand up yet. It is 5:57. I'll give it one more minute. Okay. It does not appear that there's any more public input at this public hearing, so we will call the public hearing meeting closed at 5:57. All right, everybody, you've got 3 minutes till we start our next meeting.
And we have 6 p.m., Your Honor.
Okay, I'm here. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Newington Town Council special meeting of Tuesday, April 20th, 2021 at 6 p.m. this evening. If you would please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. We'll move to roll call, please.
Councillor Annis,
Yes, here.
Councillor Braverman,
Here.
Councillor Budrago,
Here.
Councillor Camillo,
Here.
Councillor Donahue,
Here.
Councillor Menke,
Here.
Councillor Minor,
Here.
Councillor Nagel,
Here.
Mayor Del Buono.
Here. Thank you, everyone. Everyone is present this evening. We'll move on now to public participation. Any member of the public may join us this evening through the Zoom app by raising your hand in the participants window. And if you are dialing in by phone, *9 will raise your hand to be recognized, and then *6 to actually participate. So we'll just give it a moment. I'll check our window here to see. All right, let's see. Mr. Sylvia is with us. Mr. Sylvia, we can't hear you again. All right, I'm going to try to bring him over as a panelist again, just for the public participation portion.
Don't know why that's doing that to us.
Yeah, it's weird. Mr. Sylvia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, go right ahead. Just name.
Stephen Sylvia, 45 Basswood Street, Newington, Connecticut. I want to apologize to the group. I thought that the previous time that I made public participation was for this meeting, but whatever. I've gotten my message across, and please accept my apologies for being redundant. And by all means, proceed on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sylvia. Okay, let me just give it one more look to see. Okay, I do not see any other hands up in public participation, so we will move on with our agenda this evening. The next item is remarks by councilors on public participation. Any councilors like to add anything? Councilor Donahue.
Yes, I would like to forgive Mr. Sylvia for his indiscretion.
That's very kind of you. Thank you. All right, seeing no other hands up, we will move on to consideration of old business. This evening, the first item under old business is the ordinance amendment adoption for the public school CIP reverse fund, chapter 48 funds, article 9, project school capital improvement projects reserve fund. We had a public hearing just a few minutes ago prior to this meeting to allow the public a chance to weigh in on this item. The proposed change this evening is to the language that would allow the Board of Education to utilize specific tuition payments that have been received from town residents to directly fund the preschool program as part of their general budget. That's what's on the table this evening. This is old business that has been discussed by the council in the past. So I will open it up for discussion. Would someone volunteer to read the motion into the record?
I can do it.
Thank you, Councilor Menke.
Resolved, the Newington Town Council hereby approves the amendment to the Newington Code of Ordinances, Chapter 48, Funds, Article 4, Public School Capital Improvement Projects Reserve Fund, Section 48-14, Definitions, Section 48-15, Creation of Fund, Revenues. A copy of said ordinance is attached to this resolution.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilor Donahue. Any discussion on this now that the resolution has been read in? As I mentioned, we did discuss this at a previous meeting. I don't see any hands up, so we will go straight to a roll call vote, please.
Councillor Annis,
Yes.
Councillor Braverman,
Yes.
Councillor Budrago,
Yes.
Councillor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Menke,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
9-0.
Wonderful. I'm glad that went through. Thank you, everyone. I know when Dr. Brummett first started in Newington, this was one of the first conversations she had with me was asking us to take a look at this. So it's nice that we were able to accomplish this together. All right, we will move on to the next item on our agenda, which is the CPACE agreement modification. As discussed at our last meeting, the Connecticut Green Bank has notified the town of their intent to take over the responsibility of billing and collecting CPACE tax assessments. These are currently handled by the tax collector for the commercial property assessed clean energy CPACE program. Before us this evening, we have a resolution. Would someone like to read that in for me, please?
I can do it if you want.
Okay, Deputy Mayor Pacheco, thank you.
Resolved that the Newington Town Council hereby authorizes Keith Chapman, Town Manager, to execute the CPACE partial release agreement, a copy of which is attached to this resolution.
Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Nagel. Any discussion on this item? Counselor Annis, I can't tell. Are you trying to? Okay. All right, it looks like everybody's all set on this item, so we'll move to roll call vote, please.
Counselor Annis,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budraco,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Menke,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes,
9-0.
thank you, Susan. Okay, next on our agenda is the proposed budget adjustments for fiscal year 2021, 2022. This is our last opportunity to make adjustments to the budget. The next item on our agenda, we would be looking to start adopting and setting our mill rate the next few items. Just for the public's knowledge, our last meeting on the 13th, we did make several motions on both sides of the aisle to adjust the budget, and those are a matter of public record at this point. Currently, if I'm hoping Janet is on with us, I'm sure she is, but Janet, if I'm wrong, you can correct me. I believe right now we are looking at a mill rate after the adjustments that we've already made of 38.81.
You're correct.
Okay. I would open the floor up for any other adjustments that we'd like to bring forward.
We have one adjustment, if I may.
Yes, go ahead, Counselor Menke.
Maybe we can just explain it. So if I just explain it together, I know we have to put them separately, I assume.
Janet, can you help if he explains what the adjustment is, how we need to do that in terms of the funds and the accounts?
You can do it together. He could,
Okay.
because it's basically one offsetting the other.
Right, it's easier to do it together then. Okay, so let me just write them out, read them out, and then we can go from there. Adjustment 111008501 grant match. We want to reduce that by $50,000. And then 111008501. We want to set up a new CIP line labeled historic properties and increase that by $50,000.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Donahue. And discussion.
The goal here would be that we would start setting up a fund to take care of our historic properties, be they houses or plaques or whatever we have in town. We need to start taking care of those historical properties, and if we don't, they'll become history and they'll be gone.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Pacheco.
Yeah, I think, quite frankly, we haven't done a good job at either maintaining or appreciating the historic properties or sites that we have in town. And they're disappearing or rapidly, going into deteriorated state. And I think what opened my eyes was the facility study. where they did, as part of the overall comprehensive study of facilities in this town, identified, some of the issues with our historic sites. And also, the current line item or budget item in the budget for the past several years has been $500. And I know there's an issue there with the fact that the two historical sites that the line item refers to, the Kellogg-Eddy House and the Kelsey House, are.
You went to mute, Gail.
And a ton of responsibility necessary, but it's become apparent to me that with the amount of development going on in town, the new TODs, whatever, we are kind of losing our we're losing our history. We're losing the structures and sites that connect us with our past and give us a sense of who we are, a place of character, a place of continuity. And we could even, maybe people would start going to these places if they were opened and maintained properly. Some of the places can't even be open to the public. So by expanding this and using it as historic sites, again, as Tim mentioned, it's not just the buildings that's been identified, but there's a lot of sites in town that really need some help. The historic cemeteries, even facade work on some of the older homes, that in town that are on the historic register. The falls, we do have a lot of history here, and maybe this is just a little bit of a start to kind of jumpstart. And in particular, this being the 150th year or anniversary, what a perfect opportunity, I think, to all of a sudden kind of resurrect this appreciation for our history and start paying some attention to it.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Federico. Councillor Nagel.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to echo what Deputy Mayor Federico has said. Personally, having served as the president of the Historical Society and had been on a member of that society board for, at least the last 15, if not 18, 20 years, and having seen what has been done and can't be done, and where monies were found for things that the town is responsible for preserving these different sites, that it's good to see finally a place where there are monies that can definitely take care of something and not have to let them go as a last resort as opposed to other things. Also, having served on the council, I've seen many times over the last 15 years, I've seen where this has come up and has gone by, and somehow money's been patched together to try to maintain things that indeed the town is responsible and should maintain just as much as other things to preserve our history and to provide a presence not only for beautification, but also for saying that we as a community are proud of the history of Newington and wish to share it and to preserve it for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Any other comments? Okay. I'm getting a lot of feedback. Are you guys hearing that as well?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, I was going to offer some comments. I think that this really represents what I think this council has said over and over since taking office almost 2 years ago now, year and a half ago, that we are committed to working on our facilities, and that encompasses all facilities. So the facility study that we did, which you guys have mentioned, we are definitely through our CIP this year and through the recommendation of our town manager, we have increased more than doubled the CIP dollars this year in order to start addressing those needs. And this is just another example of a need that's been identified that we are committed to making sure we're addressing in the future as we move forward. So I definitely support this. Any other council comment? All right, we'll move to a roll call vote, please.
Counselor Annis,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budraco,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Mankey,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes,
9-0.
thank you. All right, we will move on now to adoption of the operating budget for fiscal year 2021, 2022. The motion is on the screen. I don't have it in my packet. I'm not sure
I don't have it either.
if anyone else did. Okay. So I'm going to need someone to volunteer to read that off the screen, someone with some good eyes because it's small print. Who would like to go ahead and help with that?
I'll do it.
Thank you, Counselor Donahue.
Resolve the following general fund appropriations of the town of Newington are hereby adopted for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021 and ending June 30th, 2022, in accordance with section 805 of the charter of the town of Newington. Appropriations. Town government operations. General government, $5,915,128. Public safety, $9,351,655. Public works, 5,000, I'll be all right. 5,272,281. Community planning and development, public health, 539,396. Communities, wait a second.
Love him to pieces. He's a nice man, a good man. I'm glad he called.
Oh, am I missing something? All right, wait a second, I'm good. Development, okay, public health, 200,833. Community services, 1,073,975. Public library, 1,739,762. Parks and recreation, 1,837,932. Insurance miscellaneous, 11,634,789. Debt service, 37,601,751. Metropolitan District, 2,222,932. Capital improvements, 4,758,350.
Hold on one second, Counselor
Am I-
Donahue.
Am I off a line?
No, Janet, can you help clarify? The insurance line has two lines. It goes over to that second column.
That's the total. So that 37,601,751 is the total of all those numbers up above.
Okay.
So it's general government, public safety, public works, community planning, all of that. That's the
Okay.
total.
So then,
all right.
Counselor Donahue, you were just reading it wrong in terms of the line. So after insurance miscellaneous, if you could continue with debt service at the 2,222 line.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Thank
Debt
you.
service, 2,222,932. Metropolitan District, $4,758,350. Capital improvements, $6,686,052. Equipment reserve, $1,304,312. Employee leave liability reserve fund, $63,500. Board of Education, $76,768,011. Total appropriations, $129,404,908.
Continue onward, sir.
Oh, God, you didn't tell me it was a second page. I wouldn't have volunteered.
There's 4.
Oh, great. Estimated revenues, current taxes, 97,285,763. Prorated taxes, 1,130,637. Prior year's taxes, 400,000. Interest and liens, 350,000. Payment in lieu of motor vehicle tax, 8,540,000. Payment in lieu of taxes, $1,984,600. Assessments, $16,000. License and permits, $359,500. Rentals, $100,000. Investment income, $100,000. Fines, $22,000. Charter of services, $533,875. Refunds and reimbursements, $30,000. Sale of town property, $5,020. State aid, $15,506,895. Federal aid, $309,000. Miscellaneous, $60,000. Transfers from other funds, $171,618 for a total of $126,904,908. General fund balance applied, $2,500,000. Total estimated revenues and applied funds, $129,404.90. Am I supposed to read this stuff at the top again?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Be it further resolved, the clerk hereby introduces to place the accompanying general fund budget summary on the record of this meeting to illustrate the above appropriations and revenue estimates. Be it further resolved that the following budget is hereby adopted by the Public School Capital Improvement Project Reserve Fund for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021 to June 30th, 2022. Appropriations, painting, $50,000. Carpeting, $50,000. District-wide security and safety, $100,000. District-wide furniture replacement, $25,000. System-wide HVAC installation, $50,000. Athletic improvements, $25,000. District-wide playground renovations, $50,000. District-wide lighting improvements, $15,000. District-wide corridor exterior doors, $25,000. District-wide roof reserve, $200,000. District-wide blacktop paving, $65,000. District-wide vehicles, $40,000. District-wide building systems and controls, $25,000. District-wide environmental services, $55,000. District-wide sidewalk and concrete, $25,000. District-wide electrical infrastructure, $25,000. John Patterson windows and PCB asbestos, $200,000. Track tennis basketball resurface restorations, $100,000. District-wide bathroom renovations, $25,000. Resolve the following general fund appropriations, Town of Newington hereby applied for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, and ending June 30th in accordance with Section 805 of the Charter of the Town of Newington. Appropriations.
Hold on, I think I have a wrong slide in there. Hold on 1 second for me, because that is our first slide, I believe.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what
You're just
happens.
you're just making up for me calling your names before, James. I know.
Well, I wanted to make you read it a couple more times.
Yeah, no, I'm having such a good time.
I knew you were. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Let's see here. Yep. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I know what happened. Lots of clicking, I know.
John, are you thankful for the break?
Yeah, thank God. It's too depressing now. I won't go home and do my checkbook, I'll tell you that.
There you are, Councillor Donahue.
Okay. Total appropriations, 1,150,000. Estimated revenues, general fund appropriations. Interest earnings, 125,000. Tuition receipts, 2,000. School rental receipts, 600. Nope. Nope, sorry about that. General fund appropriations, 125,000. Now we have tuition replacements. No, I was right. Public school capital improvement program fund balance. It seems to be a line off here.
Yeah, Janet, can you chime in on this one too? The lines are off a bit. We're not sure how that should read.
How it should read, it should be estimated revenues, the general fund appropriation, 125,000. James, I don't know what happened with your copy of this one. Then it should be interest income, earnings of 2,000. Tuition receipts, 600,000, school rental receipts, 73,000, and public school capital improvement program fund balance, 350,000.
Okay.
All right, for a complete balance of 1,150,000.
Is that the end of the motion?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Councillor Donahue. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor Menke. Any further discussion? Councillor Anist?
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say that even though that we don't support the position being added in the town manager's office, because we have not received the overall job responsibilities, we will be supporting this budget. It is fiscally responsible, and we have all worked collaboratively in reducing the mill rate by 45.45 mils. I think we did an outstanding job. There was not a lot of back and forth, and I'm very happy of the budget that we're presenting to the town. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Anist. Councillor Menke?
I would agree. I think this is a good budget. I think we've actually lessened the burden on the taxpayers at a time when they could probably use the relief due to COVID. I appreciate the fact that we all work together to get to where we are. I also appreciate the fact that the town managers and his office worked really, really hard to get there, get to this budget. And I also would commend the Board of Education for realizing it as their contribution to the budget to get us to where we are. And I think it's a great step for the town.
Thank you, Councillor Menke. Deputy Mayor Bedrejko?
I was going to say this to the end, but since we're talking about the budget now, this year I think was particularly demanding because beyond the normal budget process and constraints that we face, it was compounded by COVID, the virus, and the economy. But despite this uncertainty, town staff was requested and actually required to prioritize and evaluate and control expenditures while we asked them to minimize the impact to taxpayers. And we asked them to make sure that to continue to provide high quality services. And town staff delivered, I think, in a fiscally responsible budget. And this year, because of previous sound financial planning by town staff, we were much more fortunate than other communities because we faced all these challenges from what I feel was a position of relative strength, or at least relative stability, as we were able to avoid reductions in core services, but we also moved forward on some key priorities. Because, for example, this budget allows us to continue investment in the town hall and the community center. It moves us forward with Anna Reynolds. It uses a revised CIP that helps us to more adequately address long-term planning and infrastructure maintenance. And in particular, my little pet things, it even allowed us to resuscitate some interest in open space and historical properties. So I'd like to give a big thank you to the town department heads who were really challenged by management to think critically about managing their resources, and they delivered. And also, certainly we have to give a big shout out, in my opinion, to Keith Chapman and Janet Murphy, because this really was a period of change and a period of uncertainty. And they both worked long and hard to present us with a fiscally responsible budget, and one that might not have addressed all the wants, but it certainly, as Keith would say, addressed all the needs. So I think this is a good budget, one that we can all be proud of, and a thank you to all who contributed.
Very well said, Deputy Mayor Bedrejko. Any other council comment? All right, I'm going to save my comments. We still have a couple more votes before it's all finalized, so I'll save mine to the end. I guess we'll move on now to a roll call vote, please.
Counselor Anist,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Bedrejko,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Mankey,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
9-0.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda this evening is the adoption of the long-range capital improvement plan for 2021, 2022 through 2025, 2026. Each year, as part of our budget, we have a separate piece that is part of the budget, but it is a separate document. It's our capital improvement plan, and that is what we need to now go ahead and adopt. So I will open it up. If someone would read that motion for me, please.
Be happy to if you like, Madam Mayor.
Go right ahead, Councilor Minor. Thank you.
Resolved, the Newington Town Council hereby adopts the Town of Newington Long Range Capital Improvement Plan 2021 through 2022 through 2025 through 2026, a final copy of which will be on file with the Town Clerk's office. Note, this vote is binding only for funds committed for fiscal year 21-22. The proposed funding for 22-23 through 25-26 is for planning purposes only and is subject to change through future budget deliberations.
Thank you, Councilor Minor. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Deputy Mayor Bedrejko. And discussion, Councilor, oh, sorry. Discussion on this item? All right. I will say that this year, as I mentioned earlier, you'll see the amount in this line item is double from last year. Right up at roundabout. And again, that speaks to this council's wanting to really address the needs in our facilities as we move forward. The town manager brought to us a plan that I would have thought at the beginning was absolutely unimaginable. We typically in the past have looked, we always tighten our belt in this account. And so the town manager and his staff brought forward not only a budget, but a capital improvement plan that are something I did not think were possible. We are doubling the amount of money we're putting into our facilities, and yet we're reducing our tax burden and our mill rate. So to me, this is a home run, and I am absolutely amazed at the work that Mr. Chapman and his staff did to get us here. I'm excited for what the future holds with this funding. It's going to allow us to accomplish so much in our town that has been long overdue. So I am exceedingly pleased at the plan that we have before us this evening. Any other council comment? All right, we will move to roll call vote, please.
Counselor Anist,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman, Counselor Bedrejko,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Mankey,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
You're muted, Sharon.
Yes.
9-0.
I got it.
Wonderful, thank you. All right. Now on to a very important portion of our meeting. We're going to now set the mill rate based on the adjustments that we've made to the budget and what the budget was coming forward from the town manager. And before us, we have a resolution to adjust the mill rate. Janet, what should that line read?
That line should read 38.81.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, counselors, who would like the honor of reading this motion in this evening?
I will.
Okay, Counselor Nagel, thank you.
Resolved, in accordance with Section 805 of the Town Charter of the Town of Newington, the Town Council hereby fixes a tax rate of 38.81 mils for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021 and ending July 30th, 2022, which shall be levied on taxable real and personal properties and motor vehicles property in the town of Newington listed on the October 1st, 2020 grand list. And said tax shall become due and payable in accordance with Section 43-1 of the Newington Code of Ordinances. The town manager is hereby authorized to make out and sign the rate bill in accordance with this motion.
Thank you, Counselor Nagel. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Donahue. Further discussion? All right, I would like to again thank the town manager and his staff. Without the budget that they brought forward to us, there was no way we would have been able to achieve this savings to our residents and to our community in a year that we faced some serious challenges with the pandemic. And I know our residents in many ways have been hurting because of the pandemic as well. Hopefully this will help, and with a decrease in a mill rate, we will be helping to alleviate some of the burden on our taxpayers. While we're always looking for more ways to do that, we are continuing to provide the services that we always have. We've not cut any services. We've managed to decrease the mill rate and the burden, and I am beyond thrilled that this council worked so collaboratively to get this accomplished this evening. I want to thank everyone, including every member of our town staff. I know behind the scenes what went on was far more difficult than what was seen at this table in terms of what the staff had to do in order to bring this to us. So thank you to everyone involved. I am full of gratitude this evening. Any other council comment? Okay, we will move to a roll call vote, please.
Counselor Anist,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budraco,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Mankey,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes,
9-0.
thank you, everyone. All right, that concludes our old business for this evening. We'll move on now to consideration of new business. In our packet this evening, we have a motion for a cancellation of the April 27th, 2021 regular meeting. Because this is the first time we're seeing it on our agenda, it would require waiving the rules in order to take action this evening and accomplish this. Would someone go ahead and read in the resolution on the screen, please?
I can do it.
I'll read it.
Thank you, Councilor Ennis.
Resolved that the Newington Town Council, in accordance with Section 11 of the Town Council Rules of Procedures adopted February 11th, 2020, hereby moves to allow action on agenda item 6A to cancel the April 27th, 2021 regular meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
I didn't hear that. Councilor Mankey, thank you. Seconded by Councilor Mankey. Any discussion on that? On the waiving of the rules? Okay. We will go ahead to a roll call vote.
Counselor Anist,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budraco,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Mankey,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
9-0.
Okay, now we'll move on to the next motion, which is to amend our schedule. Counselor Annis, would you like to continue?
Sure. Resolved that the Newington Town Council hereby amends its approved meeting schedule by canceling its regular meeting scheduled for April 27th, 2021.
Thank you. And a second?
Second.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Menke. On this one, we have to allow for public participation prior to taking a vote because we are waiving the rules this evening. So I will look to our attendees window to see if there's any public participation on the motion before us, which is to cancel the April 27th meeting. I'll give it just a moment. I do not see anyone in the attendees window with their hand up, so we will move on to council comment on the motion. Any council comment or discussion? Okay, we'll move to a roll call vote, please.
Counselor Annis,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budrago,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Menke,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel,
Yes.
Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
9-0.
All right. I think we've earned that. Thanks, everyone. Next item this evening is public participation. We'll open it up again for any member of the public who would like to participate can do so by raising their hand in the Zoom application in the participants window or through the Zoom. If you're phoning in, star 9, I apologize, to raise the hand and then star 6 to be able to speak with us. We'll just wait one moment to see if anyone raises their hand for public participation. All right, I do not see any members of the public raising their hand. We will continue on with remarks by councilors. Any councilors? Okay, I just wanted to quickly summarize this evening. We did adopt our budget and set our mill rate. We did adopt a new mill rate of 38.81. This is a reduction of almost half a mil, 0.47 mil reduction from last year's budget. And I am very thankful again for everyone's participation and collaboration on this budget. All right, next on our agenda is an executive session for personnel. Let's see, there's the motion.
How do I do
Councilor
this?
Donahue, please.
Is he gonna send out an email?
I don't know.
You already did.
And when you read the motion, Councilor Donahue, please include Janet Murphy, Director of Finance, as well.
Okay. Resolved that the Newington Town Council, in accordance with CGS 1-206A, hereby moves to go into an executive session and invites town council members, the mayor, Keith Chapman, town manager, Benacana, town attorney, Heather Shotney, HR specialist, and executive assistant, Janet Murphy, and James Kapinski, town clerk, to discuss a personnel issue, personnel and classification plan.
Thank you, Councilor Donahue. Is there a second?
Okay.
Second.
Thank you, Councilor Menke.
No.
Any discussion?
Will we be coming back into this session after the meeting?
No, we should be able to handle the adjournment from that one, and we won't be taking any action that's proposed at this time.
Okay, guys, I'll shut down the public meeting then on the 14.
Okay.
Okay. We need to take a roll call vote to go into executive session, please.
Counselor Annis,
Yes.
Counselor Braverman,
Yes.
Counselor Budrago,
Yes.
Counselor Camillo,
Yes.
Counselor Donahue,
Yes.
Counselor Menke,
Yes.
Counselor Minor,
Yes.
Counselor Nagel, Mayor Del Buono.
Yes.
8-1.
Who did we not hear? Was it Councilor Nagel?
Counselor Nagel,
He's with us. He's just muted.
Okay. So 9-0.
Oh, hold on, Dave. All right, Dave, did you, I didn't hear you, Dave.
Yes.
Okay, 9-0. Thank you. I just like to make it
9-0.
official. Thank you, Susan.
You're
All
welcome.
right, everyone, we stand in executive session. We will go into that executive session at 6:46. Thank you, everyone.
You all have just received an email that shall have the link to come into the executive session. The window is currently open in that Zoom application.
Okay, so we can leave and exit out of this one all together, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you. See you all on the other side.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay,
Make a
welcome
motion
back
to
to the public
adjourn.
session. Motion to adjourn, please, made by
Motion.
Councilor Hernandez, seconded by Councilor Donahue. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We stand adjourned at 8:47 PM. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.